Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Jack, and today I'm going to be talking about some flora and fauna of none other than this place. I don't know if you know what it's called. It says it right there on the map. It's called New Zealand, and it's got some cool plants and animals, mostly birds, which I would like to talk to you about today. First up, we got these guys. See it? Right there. This guy. He's called a Whio. And pretty much, this is the only bird whose native habitat is rivers. And you're like, oh, birds hang out by rivers. But these birds are different. These ducks run the rivers. They paddle down stout rapids. And that's what makes them so cool. I mean, there's other things. There's other cool facts. Do you want to hear them? Yeah, of course you do. Of course you want to hear my cool facts about Whio. First up, when they have a partner that they mate with, they stay with that partner until one of them dies. Monogamous bird. Another fun fact is that their feathers are waterproof. The outside ones are waterproof. And the inside ones are like really insulating, which is called down. And actually, and this goes for all ducks, this is just a duck fact, it's not just a Whio fact. Actually, if you have really expensive pillows, not like these hoary ones, the feathers inside, wait, no, this one hasn't. It's down from ducks. It's those feathers, the really soft insulating ones. What? These birds exist on such rivers as the Arahura, the Waitaha, one of the ones in the Abel Tasman I saw some on, and also in the Kahurangi National Park. They hang out there as well. Pretty much they just like to hang out on the rivers, chill out, have a good time. They make some pretty weird sounds, and they're pretty cool birds. Next up. Oh yeah. They're predators. They're natural predators. Are the classic stoats, weasels, yada yada. You've heard the story before, but this bird, because it's centered around rivers and, you know, that's their habitat, that's their vibe, they actually have been quite, you know, affected by things such as Didymo in rivers. They don't really like that. They also don't really like when corporations dam said rivers and mess up their habitat. Like, we won't name any names, we'll get political in this video, but you know who I'm talking about. Bloody... Nah, I won't even go there. Yeah, those guys. So, pretty much it's us humans screwing it up for them. Classic. Next up. Wickers. These little guys are also known by us European people as you cheeky little bugger. These birds, you know, you've seen them. They're like scurrying around dock campsites, stealing people's stuff, and you're like, bloody hell. But it wasn't always like that, especially not on the South Island. South Island, we used to not even have that much because people just used to kill them all the time. Māori people especially, a traditional Māori food. Weka is just like a staple meat-wise, pretty much. And apparently, even though it's illegal, some of them still, you know, eat weka. Another fun fact is the way to cook weka is you get a gumbo, you get a weka, you put it into an oven, you get a hungy going, and then once it's all cooked up, you throw the weka out and you eat the gumbo. Classic joke, classic weka joke. These things are pretty much almost extinct in the North Island. Like, I heard somebody from the North Island see one and he thought it was a chicken. I didn't even know they didn't have them over there. I looked into it a little bit more. It turns out that they were just basically killed like just humans, classic humans just killed them all pretty much in the North Island. And they only exist really in bush areas in the North Island, but in the South Island, because of lower population, less history of just like a bigger population, and also because when the population did increase in the South Island, it became illegal to kill wekas, and there's just way more bush area. So all of these factors combined just meant that when they made it illegal to kill wekas, the population just skyrocketed, especially because the South Island has way more tourists to locals ratio, which means that there's lots of dumb tourists who are just like, yo, have my food. This is so sick. I'm going to take photos and send it to my grandkids. What? These guys, biggest predators, the classic stoats, weasels, but you know that's said and done. But originally, I think it's really interesting that it was a thing that humans mostly ate, and they were actually used to be very scared of people, and it was actually really hard to catch them. These days, though, would it be that hard? You could probably just zip your tent up or something, you know what I mean? They're pretty fast, though. Pretty fast. Yeah, but look at that. It's cute. I took that photo at Lake Materi. That's cool place. Alright. Moving on. We're going quick. Kawa. Now this, you might be like, Kawa, is this the thing they drink in this area where they sit around a fire and they drink it out of a coconut bowl and they feel all horsey? But no, it's very similar. It's a cousin to this kava that you're thinking about, but it's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about this one. And this is an anti-inflammatory, and it's great for if you have a toothache. You can chew on these leaves and it cures your toothache. It was very big traditional Māori medicine to use kawa as, you know, an anti-inflammatory as this thing. I actually, did my shoulder and I just drank some kawa and it was all good. Short story, but good one. This stuff, it likes a moist climate. It likes a bit of rain. It likes some trees sheltering it because it's a very fragile plant, which is why that areas where there's like lots of pigs and stuff, that just like pig rooting, digging through the ground, it just cooks these plants, and that's the big issue. Also, it really doesn't like pesticides, as a lot of plants don't. So you won't really find it in heavily farmed areas. Yeah, that's the short and long of this kawa thing. Next up, Pohutakawa. Now this plant, Pohutakawa, is also known by us European people as the New Zealand Christmas tree. This is because at Christmas time, it flowers, and the flowers are red, and they're very pretty, and you see them on those old postcards that look painted. Fun fact. This tree is, it's associated with like summer vibes, and you can find it in warmer areas in New Zealand. The biggest issue with this tree, really, is that the bark is pretty thin on the outer layer, because it's got these they look like roots, they kind of look like vines, and it's like crawling all over the tree quite often. If they're a young tree, this won't happen so much. And then deer, when they got all the stuff on their horns, the velvet, and they're like, oh, it's uncomfortable, get this off me, and they scratch their head on these trees, and then it just takes off all the bark, and then they're probably all gross. So then the tree gets infected, and then it dies. And it's also, the roots sometimes they stick out of the ground, and people just drive their cars on it, and then it just dies like that sometimes. Those are big issues. And also classic just forestry, people clearing land to have farms and to plant pine trees for some reason. Like, surely we had better trees than pine trees. Bloody hate pine trees. Gross as trees. Should have Pusaka trees instead. Anyways, that's my video. Hope you liked it. Hope it was less boring than the last video. Honestly, that last one put me to sleep. Goodbye. Cheerio. See you at grad.